Well, this is a moment where I wish I had Deja Vu on vinyl, which I don't. I don't have it. I do have CSN right there. The original. I don't have CSNY, though. That would really fit this video. Whatever. Hi, guys. Welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. Bam. I know I am. And I'm going to say the same thing I said in the last video. There's 3 albums behind me. Name or just specify what is the similarity between all 3. I picked out a special little thing for you guys. Hopefully you can figure it out. It's not too hard. We're back with another pick from our alpha patron, Ken. Ken, oh my God, you are the man, my friend. Seriously, Ken is the best. Even though it's, I don't know, the systems we use for, you know, like the support and stuff like that for the channel, they are very annoying. Let's just say that. But Ken, you're awesome, bro. Thank you very, very much. We're doing 2 tracks, one by Neil Young and then one by Graham Nash and Stephen Stills. If we're going back to Neil Young and Crazy Horse, which is the title track, Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere, which we've done a few tracks from a long time ago, and I absolutely love it, man. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Buffalo Springfield, Neil Young, CSNY, anywhere that Neil Young goes, it's gold, bro. And it's funny, I was just listening to Harvest the other day, man. I was listening to Old Man, which is like probably my favorite song, and then Needle and the Damage Done. Those are my favorite Neil Young songs right now. And then, of course, Rust Never Sleeps. That album is just fucking nuts, bro. I mean, if you listen to all that whole entire album, like in a drive, like you feel like a different person by the end of it, you know? But I'll leave that one alone. The second one is Immigration Man by, it's Graham Nash and David Crosby. My apologies. I guess, you know, I think after, you know, CSN split up, they all went off and did their own little things. We did listen to CSN 77 about a while back, too, so that one was pretty good. It had some bangers on it. It wasn't as good as the first 2 albums, but it did have some bangers on it. A Cathedral, Graham Nash, I think that's what it is. That song, oh my God, bro. That song is incredible. But whatever, we'll leave that alone. I'll link my CSN and all that stuff playlist if I got it above my head right there if you want to go watch the other stuff. Be warned, though, they are kind of older videos, so but some people probably prefer the older videos compared to the newer videos. Who knows? What the fuck do I know? You know what I mean? Whatever. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Check out our Patreon and PayPal if you want to help support the channel. All the funds are being basically diverted to Christmas right now for the girls. You know, I've had a few people donate so far to help out, and seriously, thank you so much, guys. It means the world to me. All right, here we go. Neil Young. Everybody knows this is nowhere. 3, 2, 1, go.
I think I'd like to go back home and take it easy. There's a woman that I'd like to get to know, living there. Everybody seems to wonder what it's like down here. Day-to-day running around. Everybody knows this is nowhere. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Oh, yes.
Every time I think about back home, it's cool and breezy. I wish that I could be there right now, just passing time.
Ooh,
everybody seems to wonder what it's like down here. I gotta get away from this day-to-day running around. Everybody knows this is nowhere.
In there.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
That was great. But wow, that shit just hits you in the chest by the halfway point. My nowhere popped in my head, I'll tell you that. Immigration Man.
There I was at the immigration scene, shining and feeling clean. Could it be a sin? I got stopped by the immigration man. He said he doesn't know if he can let me in, let me in. Immigration man, can I cross the line and break? I can stay another day, let me in. Immigration man, I won't toe your line today, I can't see it anyway. There he was, with his immigration face, giving me a paper chase. But the sun was coming, 'cause all it was, it looked into my space, stamped a number over my face, and it sent me running. Won't you let me in? Immigration man, can I cross the line and break? I can stay another day, won't you let me in? Immigration man, I won't toe your line today, I can't see it anyway.
That bass, oh my God.
I am with my immigration form, it's big enough to keep me warm when a cold wind's coming.
I love Nash's
So
voice,
where you
bro.
will, as long as you think you can, you better watch out for the man. Anywhere you're going, come on and let me in. Immigration man,
It's so
can I
good.
cross the line and pray? Take your fingers from the tray, let me in. Irritation man,
Right?
I won't toe your line today, I can't see it anyway.
Wow, that's profound as hell. Oh, I didn't want either of those to end, bro. That was excellent. Wow. There's a lot to be there's a lot to say about both of those songs. I'm not going to lie. Like I could probably sit here for the next 20 minutes and like do what I do with those two songs, you know? The Immigration Man one, that's a touchy subject right now, obviously. I don't know. I'm definitely, you know, this is a country built on immigrants and immigration, obviously, you know, because the people that originally lived here are now reduced to basically nothing. And we destroyed them, you know? That's what we do. We are the destroyer. You know, I am, what's the quote? I have become, whatever Oppenheimer said, but it's from the Bhagavad Gita or whatever. I have become death, destroyer of worlds. You know, that's kind of what, you know, we were to this country, you know. But it wasn't just us; it was Spain, France, England. You know, it was every country that was, you know, over there in Europe. They came over here and just basically desecrated the land, you know. And whenever I hear of strange stories and ghosts and stuff like that, Stephen King always has that idea that it's all those fucking dead Native Americans we slayed. And they're just there to haunt us. And they should. But that's just how the world works, man. It's a brutal fucking place out there. Like, and you look at the world right now, it's on fire, you know. I keep saying that. And I keep tabs on a lot of the news, especially outside of the United States, because I find the United States pretty boring and tried, to be honest. But there's, protests, riots, shootings, bombing. I mean, maybe it's just because the internet, you know it instantly now and everyone's got something to say about it, and I don't know, but I don't like the world that we're like growing into, and we as a people are not growing with the technology, if that makes any sense. Like, we're degressing and the technology is increasing, and people, I don't know. You have to, it's like Star Trek, you know what I mean? Like, it's Star Trek, the Next Generation in the original series. It was about empathy, growing with technology at the basic concept of it. It's basically humanity has to evolve with what we have around us. We can't go, it's like giving nukes to apes that can talk. Then they don't like each other just because they're like, oh, that one's white skinned or that one's black skinned. Let's blow each other up. Like, that's kind of what we're reducing ourselves down to, when we could be so much more. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, obviously the immigration thing is a huge topic right now, and you can't have just open borders. I mean, 100% you can't have that. You have to be able to vet people, because then you see, just all kinds of terrible things happen, and I get that, but you can't just... You can't be like, no more people, your line's closed. You know what I mean? That's not how it works. I mean, there are some people that take, 10, 20 years to get into this country, and they're like the most patriotic people there are, because they had to work their fucking asses off to get into this country. And then there's people like me who was just born here. And I just got all the fucking stuff. I wish I could say it, or I really, it would make the video. I wish I could say the stuff I want to say, but I can't. I have used the system to the fullest extent. Let's just say that. And you know what I mean? There's some people that have worked decades to get here. And I just, white punks on dope. That's what I was. You know what I mean? And I finally got my act together, and I try to give back where I can. You know what I mean? But I don't know, like, that song, just what he's saying, like, there's just such arbitrary lines drawn across the world. It's like there's this man in front of me saying, I can't cross this imaginary line to go somewhere else. Like, I see from their perspective and the culture and the times that they were in back then. It's like, yeah, let him through. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, let the man through. But nowadays is different, man. Like, you guys grew up in a different world than I did, and I'm 31, but it's I'm still growing, and this world that I'm in is just insane. And sometimes I wish the ride would just stop and like give us a break, and maybe just like a brief pause. But it's every day; it's something new. You know what I mean? And then you go to the first song. There was a moment in that song, even though it was only 2.5 minutes long. Neil Young is magic, bro. Like, he is. Especially with Crazy Horse, it's absolute magic every single track. And I'm not even like sizing him up, trying to gas him up, as the kids say. No, the Neil Young is an absolute wizard. And that freaking song, about halfway through, the place that my nowhere popped in my head, and it was like this hill going down, and there was like a church that no one ever used on the side, and it was like when I was homeless, and there was this one house that was completely trashed, cockroaches, but I could stay there if I wanted to, because obviously it's a cockroach house, you know what I mean? It was so bad that sometimes we would leave that house and go sleep in another abandoned house that was like four houses down. And this is in the hood, basically, in PG County, where I'm from, and man, that was my nowhere, you know what I mean? And it sucks, having that feeling of you could go in any direction and you're not going to go anywhere familiar. You're not going to meet anybody familiar. You're not going to feel welcome anywhere. Because that's like when you're homeless, that's what it's like. It's just like people spit on you, metaphorically. There are some nice people that help, obviously, but most people, they don't give a fuck because they got their own problems. They're like, I can't help you, bro. That's where I'm at in my life. I wish I could help a homeless person, but I have to help myself first. I ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. But it's funny how perspectives change, because if I heard these songs when I was getting high and stuff like that, like especially the first one, my nowhere would have been my home, because I thought deep down that was nowhere. But truly, that was the place I belonged the entire time. And I just didn't. You know what I mean? I wanted to be anywhere else but there, because my dad, and he died. And it hurt. It hurt real fucking bad. And I I had to cover it up with something. Like, I'm too smart for my own good. That's just how I've always been my whole life. And I'm too aware of things. And I wish I wasn't. I'm just very spiritually and mentally plugged into things. I guess I can just tap into the ether or something like that. I just know stuff. It just comes to me in my dreams, or it comes to me it's when I'm awake, and it's crazy. And I don't know. I'm glad that my nowhere is that place, though. You know, I'm glad that I consider home now and not the other way around, because for a long time, anything normal scared the shit out of me, to be honest, because I didn't think I could handle it. And so far, I've handled it with the help of a lot of people, but I've handled it, and I'm glad that I'm here. So I'll leave it at that. Sorry for going off on a fucking rant. Like I said, Neil Young's the fucking wizard. Obviously, that first song, the guitar silhouette from the middle point on, excellent. Him and Crazy Horse, always so good. Like, the instrumentation is just precise. It had this almost free feeling, but it was that free with a price, if that makes any sense. Like, you could just, like, I don't know, you could feel the heavy toll of the song while it being very cheery feeling at the same time. Neil Young is good at having two contrasting themes going at once, and he totally did that very well there in a 2.5 minute song. And then Immigration Man, that was great. I love hearing Graham's voice. The harmonies are great. Love the guitar kind of going crazy at the end there. And I love the topic of both songs. Like, I could sit here for another 10 minutes to talk about it, but you don't want to hear that, so it's okay. Thank you, Ken. Those are very, very excellent tracks. Today was a fucking success in my book. We had 4 for 4, I'd say, in songs. That's pretty good. I'll take it. So thanks for watching, guys, as always. If you have any other picks by Neil Young, Crazy Horse, Graham Nash, David Crosby, anybody, leave it down below. And don't forget, what's the similarity between those 3 albums? Let me know in the comment down below. See you later.